Imagine a night sky so vast and perfectly ordered that every star seems placed with purpose, as if an unseen architect traced each constellation by hand. Below, Earth glows softly in the cosmic dark, a sphere of blue and white where oceans rise and fall in flawless rhythm. The quiet hum of the universe wraps around you like a gentle current, inviting the question, could such harmony be accidental, or is it the signature of something greater, a hidden presence guiding every motion of tide and cloud? From the slow drift of galaxies to the delicate spiral of a seashell, nature offers patterns of uncanny precision. Fibonacci spirals unfold in the petals of flowers, fractals echo in the branching of trees, and the orbits of planets trace curves of elegant mathematics. Each detail feels intentional, a silent language written across the fabric of reality. If a higher intelligence exists, might these repeating patterns be its first message, a subtle proof of deliberate design? Consider the improbability of life itself. Our planet rests at just the right distance from the sun, shielded by a magnetic field, blessed with water in all its forms. Gravity holds oceans in place while allowing clouds to float freely. Even a slight change in these conditions could have left Earth barren and lifeless. Such balance feels less like chance and more like an intricate plan, an arrangement by a mind vast enough to shape the cosmos. Cultures across time have sensed this possibility. Ancient myths speak of sky builders and world weavers. Philosophers ponder whether the laws of physics are merely discoveries or intentional codes. Modern scientists marvel at the fine-tuned constants that govern stars and atoms, quietly acknowledging how improbable it all seems. Could these shared intuitions be echoes of a deeper truth, a recognition that we live within a crafted masterpiece? Yet the higher presence, if it exists, remains hidden, choosing silence over spectacle. Perhaps the design lies not in grand displays, but in the very order of everyday life. The turning of seasons, the music of wind through leaves, the rhythm of a beating heart. Each moment carries a quiet hint that we inhabit more than an accident of chemistry. We dwell in a story still being told. So we begin with a simple, profound question. If Earth was designed and is gently steered by a higher being, what might that reveal about our place in the universe? The answer may not be a proof, but a feeling, an awareness that we are part of something vast, mysterious, and intentional, a living work of art shaped by hands we cannot see. From the silent depths of space, Earth appears as a single luminous sphere, swirled with white clouds and blue oceans, turning with impeccable steadiness. Seen from this distance, the planet's harmony is unmistakable. Tides that rise and fall in sync with the moon, jet streams that encircle the globe like ribbons of invisible energy, and continents whose edges fit together as though cut by an unseen artisan. Such unity across scale and distance inspires a question that lingers in the quiet of the cosmos. Could this balance be the product of mere coincidence, or is it evidence of a deliberate design guiding every motion? The wider we look, the more striking the precision becomes. Earth rests in a narrow orbital zone where water can flow as liquid, a requirement for life and a rare cosmic gift. Its axial tilt gives us seasons gentle enough to nurture forests yet dynamic enough to circulate nutrients across oceans and land. The moon, perfectly sized and distanced, steadies our rotation and shapes the tides that feed coastal ecosystems. Each factor alone is remarkable. Together they form a system that feels almost scripted. Patterns repeat at every level. Ocean currents loop heat from the equator toward the poles and back again, distributing energy like a global heartbeat. Atmospheric rivers carry moisture across continents, ensuring that distant deserts receive dust rich with minerals from faraway lands. Mountain ranges direct the wind and call forth rain, their placement seeming almost intentional as they cradle rivers that sustain life below. These systems interact like movements in a symphony, each note enhancing the next. Human history unfolds within this planetary design. Civilizations emerged along rivers whose floods arrived with near-clockwork regularity, allowing crops to flourish and cultures to rise. Trade routes followed prevailing winds and currents that linked distant peoples long before they understood the forces at work. Even our calendars and rituals echo the planet's cycles, as if our very sense of time were shaped to match the Earth's own rhythms. Modern science, with satellites and deep space telescopes, confirms what ancient skywatchers sensed intuitively. The world is connected in ways both grand and delicate. A storm in the Pacific can influence harvests in Africa. A volcanic eruption in one hemisphere cools the other. The entire planet breathes as one organism, every element attuned to the rest. Whether by chance or by the subtle direction of a higher intelligence, the panorama of Earth reveals more than scenery. It is a living tapestry of oceans, atmosphere, and life, woven so tightly that to tug at any thread is to feel the movement of the whole. In this vast and interconnected view, one cannot help but wonder if we are witnessing not random beauty, but the careful art of an invisible hand. Imagine the universe billions of years ago, a vast expanse of swirling gas and dust, silent except for the faint hum of forming galaxies. From this cosmic sea, gravity began to sculpt our solar system, drawing matter inward until a glowing sphere emerged. In its infancy, Earth was a blazing world of molten rock and endless storms, yet within that chaos lay the seeds of order. Over eons, the planet cooled, water condensed, and a fragile atmosphere formed, as though the blueprint for life had been waiting for just the right moment to unfold. The appearance of liquid water marked a turning point that feels almost uncanny. Its presence was not merely convenient, it was essential, enabling chemical reactions that would eventually spark life. Lightning crackled through thick clouds, igniting molecules into complex compounds. Tiny protocells formed and multiplied, adapting to a planet that seemed to anticipate their needs. Whether by chance or something more deliberate, each step brought Earth closer to becoming a cradle for consciousness. Continents slowly emerged, drifting across a restless mantle like immense puzzle pieces. Their movement regulated climate and distributed minerals, enriching oceans and shaping ecosystems long before the first living cell evolved. The moon's gravitational pull stabilized Earth's tilt, preventing wild swings of temperature that could have extinguished fragile beginnings. These coincidences align with remarkable precision, almost as if the planet's early chaos was quietly guided toward balance. Life's first flickers began in the oceans, microbes that consumed sunlight and released oxygen, transforming the atmosphere into a breathable shield. This invisible labor prepared the way for plants, animals, and eventually sentient beings. Each milestone required conditions so specific that even a slight deviation might have halted the story. The path from stardust to consciousness reads less like random evolution and more like a narrative unfolding with patient intent. Across cultures and centuries, humans have sensed purpose in these origins. Ancient myths tell of world builders and sky fathers shaping earth and sea. Philosophers debate whether the laws of physics are discoveries or directives. Modern science charts each chemical and geological step, yet the improbability of life's emergence remains striking, a mystery that invites wonder beyond explanation. Standing at the edge of this history, we feel both humility and awe. Earth's beginnings reveal a universe capable of astonishing precision, a cosmos where chaos bends toward order. Whether one believes in chance, divine design, or something beyond imagination, the first impressions of our planet suggest a world not merely formed, but exquisitely prepared for the story of life to come. Across the planet's long history, countless invisible threads weave together the living and the inanimate, forming a fabric of connection so intricate that it feels less like coincidence and more like orchestration. The pull of the moon not only moves the tides but influences the migrations of sea creatures and the spawning of coral reefs. Plants exhale oxygen that animals inhale, while animals return carbon dioxide that plants require. These exchanges create a planetary dialogue, a quiet conversation that sustains life in perfect rhythm. Consider the dance between climate and life. Forests release moisture that forms clouds, and those clouds return as rain to nourish the very trees that summon them. Soil microbes recycle nutrients, feeding roots that stretch towards sunlight, while rivers carry minerals from mountains to seas, enriching distant ecosystems. Each action prompts another in an endless chain of reciprocity. It is a system so seamless that we rarely notice it, yet every breath we take is proof of its delicate balance. Humans are participants in this grand interplay. Our biological clocks align with the turning of the earth, our hearts beat in sync with cycles of day and night, and our migrations mirror ancient animal paths. Even our cultural rituals, from harvest festivals to lunar calendars, reflect an instinctive recognition of the forces that guide our world. Whether we acknowledge it or not, we move to the planet's hidden rhythms, just as birds navigate by magnetic fields and whales follow deep ocean currents. Moments of stillness often reveal these connections most clearly. A sudden hush before a storm, the synchronized flight of starlings, or the geometry of honeycomb invites us to wonder if we are witnessing mere instinct in physics, or more profound design that speaks through patterns rather than words. These glimpses remind us that life is not a collection of separate events, but a single, flowing masterpiece. Ancient traditions understood this truth long before modern science described it. Many indigenous cultures speak of Earth as a living being, a caretaker, and teacher. Today's ecological studies confirm what those traditions intuited, Survival depends on balance and mutual respect. Whether one sees this as divine intent or natural elegance, the message is unmistakable. Everything exists in relationship, nothing in isolation. Perhaps the greatest mystery is our ability to recognize these bonds. The very awareness that allows us to marvel at interconnectedness might itself be part of the design, an invitation to participate consciously in the grand conversation of life. Whether Earth is the work of a higher being or the outcome of cosmic chance, its web of connection stands as a testament to a universe where every thread matters and every heartbeat is part of a greater whole. Imagine standing beneath a sky that feels almost sentient, its vast expanse shifting from soft dawn hues to the deep indigo of night. The air you breathe, an invisible blend of oxygen, nitrogen, and trace gases, forms a protective veil around the planet. This atmosphere shields Earth from meteors and harmful radiation while holding warmth close enough to nurture life. Its composition is so precise that even a slight imbalance would tip the world toward unlivable extremes. Is this perfect mixture the result of countless coincidences or the careful calibration of a guiding intelligence? Winds wander across continents like gentle messengers, carrying seeds and sculpting weather patterns that feed forests and deserts alike. High above, jet streams weave around a globe with quiet purpose, distributing moisture and temperature in a dance that balances ecosystems. Each storm, each breeze, plays its part in a complex choreography where every motion supports life below. It is a system so elegant and self-regulating that it feels like a vast, unseen breath keeping the planet alive. Even the atmosphere's smallest details inspire wonder. Layers of ozone absorb ultraviolet rays with remarkable precision, preventing the surface from scorching. Greenhouse gases, often misunderstood, trap just enough heat to keep oceans liquid and seasons stable. A fractional change in either direction would render the planet hostile to life, a fact that raises the question of whether such balance could persist for billions of years without guidance. Sound itself is shaped by this living sky. The rustle of leaves, the whisper of snow, the echo of thunder, all depend on air pressure and temperature. Lightning, born from charged clouds, fixes nitrogen into the soil, turning flashes of energy into nourishment for plants. Every clap of thunder or quiet breeze is more than a random occurrence. It is part of an intricate feedback loop that nurtures the ground from which we grow. Human lives are intertwined with this atmospheric design in ways we seldom notice. The air we inhale today contains molecules exhaled by ancient forests and distant seas. Winds that once cooled mammoths now brush our faces. Modern science allows us to measure each component of this delicate balance, revealing how finely tuned it truly is and how dependent we are on forces beyond our control. Perhaps the atmosphere's greatest message is humility. It reminds us that life is sustained by a medium we cannot see and can barely influence. Whether one attributes its precision to natural processes or to a higher being's quiet guidance, the air itself feels like a living testament to an intelligence woven into the fabric of our world, a silent guardian surrounding every heartbeat and every breath. Beneath the endless sky and the finely balanced systems that sustain life lies a question as old as human wonder. Could Earth truly be the creation of a higher being who continues to guide its every motion? The planet's harmony, the tilt that brings the seasons, the magnetic field that shields us from cosmic radiation, the perfect distance from the sun, feels almost too precise to be accidental. Is it merely coincidence that all these factors align, or is it evidence of an unseen architect shaping the stage for life? Imagine how fragile that balance truly is. A minor shift in gravitational pull or a slight change in atmospheric chemistry could plunge the world into chaos. Yet for billions of years, Earth has remained a sanctuary for life, resilient through asteroid impacts, volcanic upheavals, and ice ages. To many, this enduring stability suggests more than luck. It feels like a plan unfolding with quiet assurance. Human cultures have long wrestled with this mystery. Ancient myths speak of divine creators molding land and sea, while philosophers debate whether natural laws themselves are a kind of cosmic code. Modern science, though grounded in observation and mathematics, reveals fine-tuned constants that permit the very existence of stars and atoms, facts that some interpret as whispers of design. Across time, the question has never been silenced. It has only grown deeper. Even the unseen realms of physics feed this curiosity. Quantum mechanics suggests that observation can influence reality, hinting that consciousness itself may shape the universe. Could such phenomena point to a guiding intelligence beyond our perception, one that both creates and sustains the intricate dance of matter and energy? Each discovery, instead of closing the case, opens new doors to awe and speculation. For individuals, the idea of a higher being actively shaping the world brings both comfort and challenge. It offers the reassurance that life has meaning and direction, yet also invites reflection on responsibility. If the Earth is a deliberate creation, how should we care for it? The possibility of design asks us to see the planet not as a resource to consume, but as a gift to honor. Perhaps the central question is not whether we can prove such guidance, but how we choose to live in its light. To walk through a forest, to watch the tides, to breathe evening air is to participate in something vast and profound. Whether the Earth's perfection is the result of divine intent or the mysterious elegance of natural law, the invitation remains the same: to marvel, to protect, and to recognize that we are part of a story far greater than ourselves. Beneath the grandeur of mountains and oceans lies a quiet marvel, so precise it almost feels like a signature of intention, the behavior of water itself. This simple molecule defies expectations in ways that make life possible. Unlike most substances, water expands as it freezes, causing ice to float. Without this anomaly, lakes and oceans would solidify from the bottom up, trapping heat and extinguishing life each winter. One subtle variation in the angle of hydrogen bonds would undo this miracle, a small adjustment with universe-sized consequences. Water's unique heat capacity is equally astonishing. It absorbs and releases energy slowly, moderating the planet's climate and buffering ecosystems from wild temperature swings. Coastal regions enjoy stable weather because the oceans act as immense thermal reservoirs. A different molecular structure could mean searing days and freezing nights, a world of violent extremes unfit for the delicate chemistry of living cells. Consider, too, the global water cycle, a planetary circulatory system that moves with an elegance unmatched by any human invention. Sunlight lifts vapor into the sky, winds carry clouds across continents, rain returns to rivers and seas. Every drop follows this eternal circuit, quenching forests, carving valleys, and sustaining every form of life. The cycle's balance, maintained over billions of years, is so perfect that even slight disruptions can reshape entire climates. Human history has always depended on this hidden order. Civilizations flourished where rivers flooded with dependable rhythm, enriching soil for crops. Cultures developed myths around sacred waters, sensing a force beyond mere utility. From the Nile to the Amazon, from Arctic ice to desert springs, water's constancy shaped migration, trade, and the very idea of home. Modern science explains these properties through chemistry and physics, but the improbability remains staggering. The tiniest shift in universal constants, atomic masses, electromagnetic strength, will have altered water's character, and with it the entire story of life. The deeper we study, the more we see a system that seems both natural and astonishingly deliberate. This single, humble molecule offers a profound reminder: the extraordinary often hides in the ordinary. Whether one calls it coincidence or creation, water's design sustains every breath, every forest, every ocean current. In each droplet lies a quiet testament to the possibility that the world was not only born of chance but shaped with care, a living clue to a mystery larger than we can measure. From the quiet perfection of a single droplet, the view widens to reveal the grand choreography of Earth's interconnected systems. Ocean currents move like slow, deliberate rivers of energy, redistributing warmth from equator to pole and returning chilled waters back again. This global circulation steadies the climate, carrying nutrients that feed plankton blooms and sustaining marine life across entire oceans. A subtle change in one current can ripple through weather patterns on distant continents, as though the planet itself responds to an internal pulse, a living rhythm that unites every shore. Above, the atmosphere traces its own intricate dance. Jet streams weave bands of high-altitude wind that steer storms, moderate seasons, and balance temperatures worldwide. Clouds gather and dissolve in delicate spirals visible from space, their shapes echoing fractal patterns found in seashells and ferns. Each gust of wind, each gentle rainfall, seems to follow instructions written in a language of mathematics and motion, hinting that order lies at the heart of chaos. Landscapes reflect this larger harmony. Mountain ranges guide air currents and capture moisture, creating rainforests on one slope and deserts on the other. Rivers carve networks across continents, carrying minerals from high peaks to fertile plains. Even underground, aquifers store and release water in rhythms that nourish ecosystems far above, as if the planet hides hidden reservoirs of life to be revealed when needed most. Living creatures follow these global patterns with instinctive precision. Birds migrate along magnetic highways that stretch from pole to pole, while whales traverse deep ocean sound channels thousands of miles long. Forests inhale and exhale carbon in seasonal cycles, aligning their quiet respiration with the tilt of the earth. From microscopic plankton to ancient redwoods, life moves in concert with the unseen metronome of planetary motion. Humanity, too, is woven into this vast design. Our ancestors crossed oceans on currents they did not yet understand, their fates guided by trade winds and tidal flows. Even today, our cities, agriculture, and economies depend on the stability of these natural systems. Modern satellites only confirm what ancient cultures sensed. The world operates as one immense, interdependent whole, where every element influences the next. Whether this astonishing order arose through chance or is sustained by a higher being remains an open question. But the coherence of these global patterns, oceans, winds, forests, and migrations intertwined, suggests a purpose beyond randomness. In every sweeping view, from space or from a quiet mountainside, Earth reveals itself not as a collection of parts but as a single, breathing masterpiece, a testament to either the elegance of nature or the hand of an unseen designer. Time on Earth moves with a patience that borders on the eternal, sculpting landscapes and guiding life in rhythms both grand and subtle. Over billions of years, continents have drifted like slow-moving rafts, colliding to raise mountains and parting to open new seas. Ice ages have advanced and retreated, carving valleys and polishing stones. Through it all, the planet has maintained a remarkable balance, adapting to cosmic impacts and volcanic upheavals as if following a script of quiet resilience. The geological record reads like an ancient diary written in stone. Layers of sediment hold a memory of vanished oceans. Tree rings record centuries of seasons. Ice cores trap tiny bubbles of ancient air, preserving the atmosphere of ages past. These natural archives reveal not chaos but rhythm, warm periods alternating with cold, extinctions giving way to bursts of new life. Such consistency suggests that time itself may be part of a deeper design, a metronome set long before the first sunrise. Life has evolved in concert with these slow cycles. Simple microbes appeared when a planet cooled enough to host oceans. Plants emerged as oxygen levels reached a precise threshold. Mammals and, eventually, humans flourished after cataclysms cleared the stage for new possibilities. Each turning point required conditions so specific and perfectly timed that they seem less like accidents and more like deliberate transitions in a story still unfolding. Human history echoes this larger cadence. Our ancestors followed retreating glaciers to fertile valleys, domesticated plants and animals as climates stabilized, and developed calendars that mirror the movements of stars and seasons. Even today, our daily lives, marked by sunrise and sunset, harvest and dormancy, are guided by these ancient cosmic rhythms. It is as though time itself has drawn us into its embrace, shaping our progress with gentle precision. What is most striking is the balance of constancy and surprise. Catastrophic events, asteroid impacts, sudden volcanic winters have interrupted the flow, yet each upheaval has opened space for renewal. The planet absorbs shocks and reorders itself, maintaining an equilibrium that fosters life rather than extinguishing it. Such resilience feels almost protective, as if the passage of time carries within it a quiet intention to preserve possibility. Whether one sees these vast epics as natural inevitabilities or as chapters of a higher design, the effect is the same. Earth's timeline unfolds with an elegance that invites. In the long flow of time, every moment, from the flicker of a lightning storm to the drift of a continent, becomes part of a grand narrative, a reminder that we live not only in the present but in a story billions of years in the making. From the stillness of orbit, Earth gleams as a perfect sphere of color and light, yet within that single vision lies a tapestry of astonishing variety. Towering mountains slice the horizon, deserts ripple in golden silence, forests hum with layered life, and deep oceans cradle mysteries yet unseen. Each landscape appears unique, but together they compose a planet-wide mosaic where every region influences the next, as if the world itself were one vast, breathing organism. Consider how distant places communicate in quiet, intricate ways. Winds born in the Sahara carry mineral-rich dust across the Atlantic to nourish the Amazon rainforest. Polar ice reflects sunlight, helping to cool equatorial waters thousands of miles away. Ocean currents move heat and nutrients across hemispheres, stabilizing climates and feeding life in far-flung seas. These far-reaching exchanges suggest a unity so profound that the planet behaves less like separate continents and more like a single living system. Life moves along these spatial pathways with effortless instinct. Monarch butterflies navigate thousands of miles between Mexico and Canada, guided by magnetic fields and the angle of the sun. Whales sing across entire oceans, their calls traveling through deep sound channels that span continents. Birds trace ancient flyways that link the Arctic tundra to the southernmost capes of Africa and South America. Each migration is a living thread, sewing together the planet's diverse habitats into one continuous whole. Human journeys mirror these natural connections. Early explorers followed prevailing winds and ocean currents long before they understood the physics behind them. Trade routes emerged where geography offered rivers and passes, linking cultures and ideas across vast distances. Even in today's digital era, our global networks depend on satellites that circle the Earth, tracing the same orbital mechanics that have governed movement since the planet's birth. Beneath the surface, unseen corridors continue this global conversation. Underground aquifers flow across political boundaries, while shifting tectonic plates slowly redraw the continents themselves. Volcanic chains that span oceans remind us that deep forces link distant lands, shaping climates and ecosystems in ways both subtle and profound. From the grandest panorama to the smallest detail, Earth's spatial relationships form a single design of balance and reciprocity. Whether one attributes this coherence to natural law or to the guidance of a higher being, the message is unmistakable. Every place on the planet is connected, every movement felt everywhere else. Our world is not a scatter of isolated points on a map, but a living, breathing masterpiece where distance only deepens the unity of the whole. Beneath the landscapes and migrating currents, unseen powers quietly shape the world with steady precision. Gravity, the most familiar of these forces, keeps the oceans in place while guiding the moon and planets in their endless dance. Its pull is so finely tuned that a slight difference would either crush Earth inward or fling it apart. This invisible tether binds everything from the smallest grain of sand to the farthest star, creating a cosmos held together by a force we can measure but never touch. Electromagnetism weaves another silent thread. It sparks lightning that fertilizes soil, forms the bonds in every living cell, and generates the auroras that shimmer near the poles. Deep within the planet, the molten core spins and churns, producing a magnetic field that shields Earth from lethal solar radiation. Without this unseen barrier, the atmosphere would slowly strip away, leaving the surface exposed and lifeless. That this shield persists over billions of years feels less like accident and more like an enduring design. Even the weak and strong nuclear forces, hidden within the heart of atoms, govern existence with astonishing balance. If these forces were slightly stronger or weaker, stars could not forge the elements needed for life, and matter itself might not hold together. Physics describes these constants with elegant equations, but their improbable stability continues to inspire awe. Many scientists admit that the universe seems calibrated for life, as if an unseen architect set the dials at the dawn of time. Above our heads, cosmic influences whisper across vast distances. The gentle tug of other planets subtly alters Earth's orbit, contributing to the long cycles of ice ages and warm periods. Solar winds carry charged particles that interact with our magnetic field, creating patterns of weather and climate that shape every harvest and migration. Though imperceptible to daily senses, these forces orchestrate the stage upon which life unfolds. Humans have long sensed these hidden powers. Ancient navigators steer by the stars, shamans felt the energy of storms, and philosophers spoke of a vital essence that binds all things. Today's instruments confirm what intuition once guessed, that invisible forces not only exist but define the conditions of reality. We live each moment in their quiet embrace, breathing and moving within fields of energy that stretch across the cosmos. Whether one views these forces as the elegant outcome of natural law or the intentional work of a higher being, their precision and persistence remain breathtaking. They are the silent architects of existence, unseen, unfelt, yet utterly essential, reminding us that the most powerful influences often lie beyond the reach of our senses, shaping a world that feels less like an accident and more like a carefully sustained masterpiece. All around us, Earth moves to rhythms so vast and measured that we often fail to notice them. Day and night, the waxing and waning of the moon, the slow procession of seasons, each is a cycle of exquisite precision. The planet spins once every 24 hours, tilted just enough to create dawns and dusks that nurture life and mark the passage of time. The moon circles every 27 days, guiding tides and biological clocks with gentle certainty. These patterns are so consistent that ancient civilizations built calendars and monuments to track them, sensing that the heavens followed an intentional beat. Larger cycles shape the planet's deeper history. Ice ages come and go as Earth's orbit shifts in slow, predictable variations called Milankovitch cycles. Oceans breathe in centuries-long rhythms, with currents reversing and rebalancing climates across hemispheres. Even the magnetic field flips polarity at intervals written into the rock beneath our feet. These grand oscillations, spanning thousands or millions of years, suggest that time on Earth is not random but orchestrated, as if the planet keeps time with a cosmic metronome. Within these immense movements, smaller pulses echo the same order. Forests release oxygen in daylight and reclaim carbon dioxide at night, a daily respiration that mirrors the heartbeat of the globe. Animal migrations align with the turning of the seasons, while flowers open and close according to the sun's path. Each living thing responds to signals that arrive like music from the sky: light, temperature, magnetic fields, woven together to sustain life with gentle precision. Human beings have always felt these rhythms. Our sleep cycles follow the length of day. Our bodies subtly shift with lunar phases. Our societies celebrate solstices and equinoxes and rituals that acknowledge cosmic timing. Farmers plant and harvest by the moon. Sailors read tides by its pull, and even our modern clocks trace their origin to the steady rotation of the planet itself. Whether we admit it or not, our lives are set to Earth's ancient tempo. These natural rhythms also carry lessons of balance. They reveal that growth and rest, advance and retreat, are essential to resilience. When we move against these cycles, disrupting seasons, altering climates, we disturb a harmony refined over billions of years. Yet when we align with them, we find a deeper sense of belonging, as though tapping into the same design that guides galaxies and cells alike. Whether one interprets these patterns as the artistry of physics or the quiet handiwork of a higher being, their precision remains extraordinary. They invite us to listen more closely to the planet's heartbeat, to live not as isolated observers but as participants in a vast, beautifully timed symphony, a living score that is played since the dawn of creation and continues, unwavering, beneath every moment of our lives. Even with all we have observed, the fine-tuned forces, the repeating rhythms, the seamless systems, one question refuses to fade: why is the universe so precisely suited for life? Science explains how stars forge elements, and how gravity sculpts galaxies, but the deeper why lingers like a soft echo. Was it simply an extraordinary chain of coincidences, or the quiet intention of a higher being who set everything in motion and still watches over its unfolding? The laws of physics present a puzzle of improbable precision. If the strength of gravity or the charge of an electron were altered by the slightest fraction, stars could not form, chemistry would collapse, and life would be impossible. Many scientists call this fine-tuning, a term that sounds less like chance and more like craftsmanship. Whether one attributes it to multiverses or to deliberate design, the fact remains: we inhabit a universe balanced on a razor's edge. Life's origin deepens the enigma. From lifeless molecules to self-replicating cells, the leap is staggering. Laboratory experiments recreate fragments of the process, but the spark that made inert chemistry awaken remains hidden. Was it a singular accident in an infinite cosmos, or a moment of guidance, a deliberate infusion of order into chaos? The mystery is profound enough to inspire both devotion and relentless inquiry. Human consciousness adds yet another layer. We do not merely exist. We reflect, wonder, and imagine. We write poetry about the stars and build instruments to measure the whispers of the cosmos. Some philosophers argue that consciousness may be fundamental, not incidental, a clue that mind itself is woven into reality. If a higher being designed the universe, perhaps our ability to contemplate that possibility is part of the design. Cultures through time have wrapped this mystery in myth and symbol. Creation stories, sacred texts, and philosophical treatises all reach for language to describe an origin beyond origins. They differ in details yet share a common intuition, that behind the visible world lies an invisible intelligence. These narratives may not be literal blueprints, but they echo humanity's enduring sense that existence itself is meaningful. Ultimately, the mystery resists final answers, and perhaps that is the point. Whether the universe is a masterpiece of divine intention or a cosmic accident, its elegance compels. To live within such a reality is to stand at the edge of understanding, humbled by the beauty of not knowing. In that silence, some hear the quiet voice of a creator, others simply feel the wonder of a universe that needs no explanation to be miraculous. Earth is a planet of striking contrasts, yet these opposites coexist in a harmony so seamless it feels intentional. Fiery volcanoes rise beside tranquil lakes, blistering deserts neighbor lush rainforests, and frigid polar nights balance with the equatorial blaze. Rather than chaos, these extremes create balance. Volcanic ash enriches soil for fertile valleys. Arid winds sculpt dunes that store hidden water, and ice caps reflect sunlight to stabilize global temperatures. Each apparent contradiction fits into a larger equilibrium, like notes in a carefully composed symphony. The natural world thrives on this interplay of opposites. Predator and prey maintain the health of ecosystems. Storms replenish rivers and forests even as they destroy. Death in one season feeds new life in the next. Life depends on tension and release, on cycles of destruction and renewal. It is a pattern so consistent that many ancient cultures saw in it the hand of a guiding force, a higher intelligence weaving beauty from conflict, purpose from paradox. Light and darkness share a similar dance. Days lengthen and shorten with celestial precision, shaping migrations, spawning seasons, and the flowering of countless plants. Stars burn with intense fury, yet their light travels calmly across the void to nurture distant worlds. Even within our own bodies, opposing systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves, acids and bases, cells that build and cells that break down, work together to sustain life. Harmony emerges not from uniformity, but from contrast embraced. Human experience mirrors this truth. Joy gains meaning in the presence of sorrow. Triumph is sweeter because of struggle. Societies progress through debate and compromise, blending diverse voices into collective action. Art, music, and literature often find their greatest power in tension, between sound and silence, color and shadow, tragedy and hope. In these creative expressions, we glimpse the same principle that animates the cosmos, balance through difference. Modern science reinforces the idea that contrasts are not flaws but features of the system. Weather models reveal how storms distribute heat, maintaining global energy balance. Ecologists show that disturbances, from wildfires to floods, can spark biodiversity and renewal. Even the universe itself began in a flash of intense expansion followed by cooling, a dance of heat and cold that set the stage for galaxies and life. The evidence suggests that creation depends on contrast, that equilibrium is born from dynamic interplay. Whether one sees this as the work of natural law or the deliberate artistry of a higher being, the lesson is profound. Opposites are not enemies but partners. Earth's beauty and resilience arise from the meeting of extremes, light and dark, calm and storm, life and death. In this elegant balance of contrasts, we sense not randomness but a design that values tension as a pathway to harmony, a reminder that difference itself may be the signature of a purposeful creation. Every element of Earth's design is part of a vast network of relationships, where seemingly distant forces influence one another in quiet but profound ways. A single storm in the Pacific can alter rainfall across Africa. Dust lifted from the Sahara fertilizes the Amazon rainforest. Ocean currents driven by polar ice shape the monsoons that feed billions. These interactions reveal a planet where nothing stands alone. Every movement echoes through a chain of consequences that binds land, sea air, and life into one continuous whole. Animals embody these connections through their migrations and daily habits. Caribou tread ancient paths that aerate tundra soils. Salmon carry ocean nutrients far inland, feeding forests as they spawn and die. Bees pollinate crops while sustaining wildflowers miles apart. Each creature acts as both participant and messenger, moving energy and information across landscapes in ways that sustain the web of life. It is as though the natural world speaks in a quiet language of reciprocity, each action inviting a response. Humans are deeply woven into this living fabric. We depend on pollinators for food, on healthy forests for clean air, on stable climates for survival. Even the air we breathe contains molecules exhaled by trees oceans away. Our cities rise where rivers once carved pathways. Our economies shift with the rhythm of seasons, and our health depends on bacteria that live within us, themselves shaped by global ecosystems. We are not separate observers but active participants in Earth's ongoing conversation. These connections extend underground and skyward. Fungal networks beneath forests exchange nutrients between trees, while atmospheric rivers carry water vapor thousands of miles before releasing it as rain. Seismic activity in distant oceans can send waves racing to far-off shores, reminding us that the planet's inner heart and outer skin are inseparably linked. The deeper we look, the more we discover relationships invisible to the naked eye but vital to the planet's equilibrium. Modern science affirms what ancient cultures intuited, that life is sustained by interdependence. Indigenous traditions speak of Earth as a single living being, where harming one part harms the whole. Today's ecological research echoes this wisdom, showing that biodiversity and balance are essential to resilience. These insights challenge us to live in harmony with the systems that sustain us, honoring the connections that make our own existence possible. Whether one attributes this intricate web to chance or to the guidance of a higher being, its complexity is breathtaking. Earth operates like a vast, intelligent network in which every river, root, cloud, and creature contributes to the survival of the rest. To recognize these interactions is to see the planet not as a collection of separate parts, but as a unified masterpiece, an elegant design where every connection carries meaning and purpose. Over billions of years, Earth has experienced countless transitions, moments when the planet seemed to pause and then shift into a new phase of existence. Continents drifted into new arrangements, oceans opened and closed, and life itself leapt from simple microbes to complex ecosystems. Each transformation unfolded with a timing so precise that it feels almost choreographed, as if an unseen hand nudged events forward only when the stage was perfectly set. Consider the rise of oxygen in the atmosphere, known as the Great Oxidation Event. For eons, life survived without breathable air until cyanobacteria began releasing oxygen in quantities that transformed the planet. Too little and complex organisms would never have evolved. Too much in life would have been poisoned. Instead, levels stabilized at just the right moment, allowing plants and animals to flourish. This delicate transition reads like a deliberate step in an unfolding plan. Mass extinctions, too, became gateways to renewal. The asteroid impact that ended the reign of the dinosaurs cleared ecological space for mammals to thrive. Ice ages sculpted landscapes and drove evolutionary adaptations that shaped the diversity of species we know today. Though devastating in the moment, these upheavals repeatedly reset the clock, creating opportunities for new forms of life to emerge. The pattern suggests not chaos, but a cycle of destruction and rebirth that advances a larger narrative. Human history reflects the same principle. Shifts from nomadic hunting to settled agriculture, from isolated tribes to global civilizations, often occurred after climatic changes or resource pressures forced adaptation. Each turning point expanded knowledge, technology, and cultural complexity. Even in our own era, challenges like climate change and pandemics can be seen as inflection points, urging humanity toward deeper cooperation and wiser stewardship of the planet. Transitions also occur on a cosmic scale. Earth's tilt wobbles in slow rhythms that govern ice ages. The sun itself follows cycles of activity that influence climate and radiation. These immense patterns, unfolding over millennia, remind us that change is not an exception but the engine of creation. Whether one views these as natural inevitabilities or subtle guidance, their precision invites. Every transformation carries a quiet message. Endings are not failures, but beginnings in disguise. From the first spark of life to the rise of consciousness, the planet's history reads as a sequence of carefully timed transitions, each one opening the way for what comes next. Whether orchestrated by physics or by a higher intelligence, these turning points reveal a universe where change is not random, but woven into the very fabric of existence, a reminder that we, too, are part of a story still unfolding. As Earth's long history unfolds, its intricate design becomes impossible to ignore. Mountains rise and crumble, oceans shift their currents, life adapts and thrives, all within a framework of balance that endures across eons. Every force, from gravity's constant pull to the subtle chemistry of water, works in quiet coordination. Whether this harmony emerged from natural law or a higher mind, it invites reflection on our place in a universe where such precision sustains every breath we take. Look closely at the evidence etched into stone and sky, continents that once locked together like puzzle pieces, tree rings that archive centuries of climate, and stars that pulse in steady rhythms. These records show not chaos but deliberate cadence, as if the planet keeps time with a cosmic metronome. Seasons follow predictable arcs, tides rise and fall with lunar grace, and even life's sudden leaps, from single cells to complex ecosystems, occur in sequences that feel less like accidents and more like carefully timed movements in an ongoing symphony. Humanity's own path reflects this profound order. We build cities where rivers naturally converge, cultivate crops according to the tilt of the earth, and measure time by the rotation of the planet and the orbit of the moon. Our myths and sciences, our rituals and technologies, all trace back to the patterns that shaped us long before we were aware of them. Whether guided by instinct or intention, our existence is inseparable from the planet's quiet logic. This realization can stir both humility and wonder. If Earth is a product of chance, then the improbability of our being here is itself a miracle. If it is the creation of a higher being, then every sunrise is a deliberate gift, every heartbeat a note in a vast composition. Either way, the effect is the same, a deep sense that life is precious, interconnected, and meaningful. The very ability to question and marvel may be part of the design. Our consciousness allows us to recognize beauty in a sunset, to seek patterns in the stars, to imagine futures yet to come. Perhaps this curiosity is the universe reflecting on itself, a signal that the story of creation is ongoing, and that we are invited to be active participants rather than mere observers. In contemplating this grand design, we find not definitive answers but a richer awareness of existence. Whether one names the source God, nature, or the infinite, the message endures. We live within a masterpiece of staggering complexity and subtlety. To acknowledge that truth is to feel both small and significant, tiny in the span of cosmic time, yet essential to the unfolding narrative of a world that may indeed be guided by something greater than we can ever fully comprehend. The deeper we explore Earth's story, the more it invites a meditation on purpose. From the microscopic dance of atoms to the swirl of galaxies, everything follows laws of astonishing elegance. Gravity shapes the paths of planets with unwavering precision. Chemical reactions unfold in sequences so consistent that life can rely on them across billions of years. Such stability allows growth, evolution, and consciousness itself. Whether born of natural inevitability or a guiding intelligence, the universe appears arranged to encourage life's flourishing and our capacity to notice it. Consider how these patterns influence human imagination. Across cultures, people have sensed a presence behind the beauty and order of the world. Myths of creation, philosophies of harmony, and scientific quests for unified theories all echo a single impulse: to understand whether an unseen architect stands behind the curtain of reality. Even in an age of advanced technology, we still look to the skies with wonder, asking if we are part of something deliberate and vast. Modern science deepens, rather than diminishes, this. Quantum mechanics reveals a universe where observation seems to shape outcomes. Cosmology shows that the fundamental constants of physics lie within narrow ranges that allow stars, planets, and life to exist. These findings can be explained through chance or multiverse theories, yet they also resonate with the idea of intentional calibration. Each discovery leaves us marveling at a cosmos balanced on a knife's edge of possibility. Our personal experiences provide another layer of reflection. A quiet sunrise, the rhythm of waves, or the complexity of a single leaf can feel like a direct encounter with meaning. These moments of stillness awaken something beyond logic, a sense that beauty itself is a message. Whether one calls it divine or simply profound, it touches a place deeper than intellect, as though the universe whispers through experience as well as through equations. This perspective brings both humility and responsibility. If Earth is a deliberate creation, then caring for it becomes a sacred duty. If it is an extraordinary accident, its rarity makes it equally precious. In either case, our actions matter. Protecting ecosystems, preserving clean water, and sustaining balance honor the miracle of existence and the delicate systems that sustain it. Ultimately, expanded reflection does not demand a final verdict on design. Instead, it invites a deeper awareness of the gift of being alive in a universe that makes life possible. To pause and truly see the patterns around us is to participate in a larger story, one that transcends proof and embraces wonder, allowing the mystery itself to be part of the meaning. When the clamor of daily life fades, a deeper quiet emerges, a silence that stretches across mountains, forests, and the vastness of space. Imagine standing on a moonlit plain where even the wind seems to hold its breath. In that stillness, the heartbeat of the planet becomes almost audible, the slow shifting of tectonic plates, the faint hum of magnetic fields, the silent pull of gravity holding oceans in place. This cosmic hush invites reflection, suggesting that the most profound truths may speak not in thunder, but in quiet presence. Silence itself is a force of balance. Glaciers grind across rock without a sound we can hear, shaping valleys over millennia. Seeds germinate in darkness, their silent growth eventually feeding entire ecosystems. Stars burn and die in the black of space, their light taking ages to reach us. These silent processes carry more influence than the loudest storm, reminding us that power often works invisibly, patiently, and without need for spectacle. For ancient peoples, this quiet was not emptiness but a sacred language. Shamans listened to the whisper of leaves, sailors read the hush before a squall, The philosophers found meaning in the stillness of meditation. They sensed that silence is not absence but presence, a space where the divine or the universe itself might be felt most clearly. Their rituals of prayer and contemplation were ways of tuning into the subtle music beneath the noise. Modern science echoes these intuitions in surprising ways. Space between atoms is vast and silent, yet it holds the energy that binds matter together. Gravitational waves ripple through the universe without a sound we can detect, but they carry the history of colliding black holes. Even the vacuum of space hums faintly with background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang, a quiet testament to creation's first moments. Humans, too, need silence to connect with meaning. In stillness, the mind can perceive patterns hidden by distraction, and the heart can sense its place in the larger story. A solitary walk in a forest or a moment under a star-filled sky can awaken the feeling that we are part of something vast and intentional. The absence of noise becomes a presence of wonder. Perhaps the greatest revelation of silence is that it allows mystery to breathe. Whether one believes in a higher being or in the elegant self-organization of nature, the quiet between world invites. It is here, in the pause between heartbeats and the hush of the cosmos, that we glimpse the profound possibility that creation itself is ongoing, and that we are witnesses to a conversation older and deeper than words. When we turn from the vast silence of space to the smallest corners of Earth, an entirely different kind of wonder reveals itself. A single snowflake, formed from vapor in a cold cloud, crystallizes into a pattern of perfect symmetry, no two ever the same. A spider's web stretches between branches, each thread engineered to hold extraordinary weight while glistening with dew. Within a single grain of sand lies a history of mountains ground to dust over eons. These details are so precise and intricate that they feel like brushstrokes in a painting whose scale defies comprehension. Consider the marvel of living cells, each one a universe of motion and purpose. Mitochondria generate energy with microscopic turbines. DNA encodes instructions in a four-letter alphabet that can replicate itself with astonishing fidelity. Proteins fold into shapes so exact that a single error can change the course of life. Even the tiniest bacteria carry out chemical processes more complex than any human machine, their activity a quiet testimony to the profound artistry of nature, or perhaps to the intent of a higher mind. Patterns repeat everywhere, hinting at a unifying design. The branching of trees mirrors the structure of rivers and lightning bolts. Spiral galaxies echo the curve of nautilus shells and hurricanes. Mathematical constants like the golden ratio appear in sunflower seeds, seashells, and even the proportions of our own bodies. These recurring motifs suggest that the same principles govern both the infinite and the infinitesimal, as though reality itself follows a single elegant blueprint. Even sound reveals intricate detail. The delicate harmony of a bird's song, the layered resonance of ocean waves, or the complex frequencies of a single musical note reflect physics of stunning precision. These vibrations travel through air and water in patterns that can soothe, energize, or inspire, whether heard or merely felt. They remind us that beauty often hides in vibrations too subtle for casual notice. Human art and technology often imitate these natural intricacies. Architects borrow the geometry of honeycombs for strength and efficiency. Engineers study the wings of insects to design nimble drones. Composers echo the rhythms of nature in music that moves us without our knowing why. We create in the image of creation itself, perhaps because our minds are tuned to recognize and replicate the underlying order of the world. The beauty of detail invites us to slow down, to look and listen more carefully. Whether one sees divine craftsmanship or the remarkable outcomes of natural law, these small wonders speak of a universe where nothing is trivial. Each grain of sand, each heartbeat, each flicker of light in a distant galaxy is part of a grand mosaic, proof that the essence of creation is found as much in the tiniest whisper as in the most dazzling spectacle. As we peer ahead, Earth's intricate balance continues to guide our journey. The same forces that shaped continents, sustained oceans, and fostered life still operate with silent precision. Yet now humanity stands at a crossroads where our choices influence the planet's unfolding story. Whether one believes Earth was designed by a higher being or formed through natural law, the responsibility of stewardship is undeniable. The future depends on how wisely we act within the framework that has so carefully sustained us. Technology offers remarkable power to observe and alter our world. Satellites track subtle climate shifts, deep space probes expand our understanding of cosmic origins, genetic research reveals the very code of life. These advances allow us to care for the planet with unprecedented insight, but they also challenge us to respect the delicate systems that make life possible. The question becomes not only can we reshape Earth, but should we, and how can we do so without breaking the balance that has endured for billions of years? The moral dimension of this challenge resonates across cultures. If the planet is a deliberate creation, caring for it is a sacred duty. Even if it is the product of chance, its rarity in the vast universe makes it no less precious. Either way, future generations depend on our commitment to protect the atmosphere, oceans, forests, and countless species that share this home. Our stewardship is not a side story. It is central to the next chapter of Earth's narrative. Science warns of potential disruptions, rising temperatures, melting ice, changing weather patterns, reminders that our actions ripple through the interconnected systems we have explored. Yet the same interconnectedness offers hope. Forest restoration can cool climates, renewable energy can stabilize carbon levels, global cooperation can preserve biodiversity. These possibilities prove that humanity can choose a path of harmony, working with Earth's rhythms instead of against them. Perhaps the higher design, if it exists, grants us both freedom and responsibility. Freedom to innovate, to explore, to dream, and responsibility to safeguard the masterpiece in which we live. Our ability to recognize beauty, to feel awe, and to care deeply may itself be part of that design, a signal that we are meant to protect what we cherish. Looking toward the future, we stand not apart from Earth's grand story but within it. Whether guided by divine intention or the elegant laws of nature, the planet invites us to continue the work of creation, nurturing, restoring, and imagining a world where life can flourish for ages yet to come. The next movement of this timeless symphony depends on how well we listen to the rhythms already set in motion. As the long arc of Earth's story unfolds, the sense of an intentional harmony becomes almost undeniable. Mountains rise and erode, oceans shift and breathe, species emerge and fade, all within a framework that endures through the ages. Whether one calls it divine craftsmanship or the quiet genius of natural law, the planet's resilience speaks of a design that welcomes both change and continuity, weaving every event into a larger whole. Now imagine a calm evening at the edge of a still lake. The last light of the sun glows on the water, and the air carries a faint chill. In this moment, the immense complexity of Earth seems distilled into a single breath of serenity. You can almost feel the patient forces that shape this scene: glaciers carving valleys, rains filling basins, forests exhaling oxygen into the twilight. Such quiet perfection reminds us that every present moment holds the entire history of creation. Human life, too, is folded into this grand composition. Our stories, our triumphs and struggles, all arise from the same processes that guide rivers and seasons. We are not separate from the Earth's narrative, but inseparable from it, made of its minerals, breathing its air, drinking its water. Each of us carries within ourselves the echoes of stars and the memory of ancient seas, living proof that the universe's creative energy flows through us as surely as it shapes the land and sky. This realization brings both humility and peace. If a higher being designed and continues to guide the world, then every sunrise is a quiet affirmation of purpose. If the universe is the result of exquisite natural order, its elegance is no less wondrous. In either view, the lesson is the same. Existence is a gift, and life is a rare and precious opportunity to witness the unfolding of cosmic beauty. The gentle closure of this reflection is not an ending, but an invitation. It calls us to live with reverence for the soil beneath our feet, for the waters that sustain us, for the mysterious forces that hold the stars in place. It asks us to care for this world as though it were a masterpiece, because it is. In the soft glow of dusk, as the first stars appear, we are reminded that Earth's story continues beyond our sight and beyond our time. Whether guided by an unseen intelligence or the silent precision of natural law, the planet endures, elegant and whole, carrying forward the quiet music of creation. Picture a dawn after countless ages of transformation, when the first light spills across mountains carved by glaciers and rivers that have flowed since before memory. Mist rises from quiet lakes, their waters carrying minerals once locked in ancient stone. Forests breathe out a cool exhalation of oxygen, a gift formed over billions of years. In this single moment of calm, the vast history of Earth converges into a scene of perfect stillness, as if the planet itself pauses to reflect on the beauty it has shaped. Walk through a meadow as sunlight filters through leaves. Each blade of grass holds the chemistry of starlight. Each droplet of dew reflects a sky of endless depth. The soil beneath your feet is rich with particles from faraway mountains, ground fine by ice and time. Birds call across the morning air, their songs a continuation of melodies begun when the world was young. Every detail, every sound, scent, and shifting shadow carries the quiet suggestion of a deliberate artistry at work. Above, the sky stretches in shades of blue, so deep they seem eternal. Stars that once guided sailors now shine as they did for ancient ancestors, their light traveling across millions of years to reach your eyes. These cosmic beacons remind us that while civilizations rise and fall, the universe keeps a steady rhythm, linking the fleeting present to an infinite past. The constancy of their glow feels like a gentle affirmation that order persists beyond human time. Water tells its own patient story. Rivers carve paths through valleys shaped by forces older than language, carrying with them tiny fragments of everything they touch. Lakes mirror the heavens, holding sediments that record the turning of seasons and the slow dance of climate. In every ripple is the memory of storms, of glaciers, of rains that fell before any creature stood to witness them. Life moves softly within this panorama. Deer graze in the hush of early morning, insects hum in unseen choirs, and seeds begin their quiet germination beneath the soil. Humans, too, are part of this enduring image, breathing the same air, drinking the same water, and carrying within their cells the elements forged in ancient stars. We are both observers and participants in this timeless scene. This lasting image, a world alive with quiet meaning, stands as a final reflection on the possibility of design and guidance. Whether the handiwork of a higher being or the natural brilliance of a self-organizing cosmos, Earth reveals a beauty so precise and profound that it transcends explanation. In every sunrise and starlit night, we witness not only the passage of time but the enduring masterpiece of creation itself. Now the story draws to a gentle close, not as an ending, but as a calm pause in the endless movement of time. The Earth spins beneath a canopy of stars, its oceans breathing in quiet rhythm, its forests exhaling the air we share. Every river, mountain, and drifting cloud carries the memory of billions of years, an intricate record of formation, upheaval, and renewal. Whether the planet's harmony arose from natural law or the guidance of a higher being, its presence is a living testament to resilience and wonder. Imagine yourself standing on a hillside as twilight settles. The sky deepens to indigo, and the first stars flicker awake. In that hush, the vast complexity of existence seems to gather into a single moment of serenity. You sense the patience of glaciers that once carved valleys, the slow drift of continents beneath your feet, the quiet force of gravity holding you in a cosmic embrace. This instant feels timeless, a meeting point of past and future in which the universe simply is. Humanity, too, is part of this quiet grandeur. Our bodies are built from elements forged in ancient stars. Our breath mingles with the exhalations of forests and oceans. Our stories echo the rhythms of seasons and tides. We are not separate from the earth but expressions of it, thinking, feeling, wondering fragments of the same cosmic fabric. To recognize this is to feel both humble and profoundly connected. Whether you call it divine design or the elegance of natural order, the lesson remains the same. Existence is precious. Life's fragility makes it sacred. Its persistence makes it extraordinary. To walk gently on this planet, to protect its delicate systems, is to honor the mysterious forces that brought us here and continue to sustain us. As the night deepens, listen for the subtle music of creation, the murmur of wind through leaves, the soft lapping of water on stone, the almost inaudible hum of the earth itself. These sounds are the heartbeat of a world that has endured unimaginable change and will continue long after our brief lives. In this stillness, the question of whether a higher being designed and guides the planet may never be fully answered, and perhaps it does not need to be. The enduring beauty of Earth speaks for itself. To live in awareness of that beauty is to participate in the grand story, carrying its quiet wisdom forward as the next dawn begins.